Hello, hello my dear students. Welcome to today's video where we will dive into Dilip Chitre's famous powerful poem, The Felling of the Banyan Tree. This poem beautifully captures the pain of losing one's roots, both literal and symbolic, while exploring themes of displacement, identity, and environmental destruction. Let's uncover the layers of this powerful poem in a way that's very simple and easy to understand. This video is prepared by Krishna Yakonda, Assistant Professor of English from GDCA Siddipet. Let's begin. Learning objectives of this video. After going through this video, you will be able to understand the main ideas of Dilip Chitre's poem, The Felling of the Banyan Tree, learn how the poet uses imagery and symbolism, connect the poem's themes to today's issues, and finally, you will be able to reflect on how these ideas relate to your own experience. Dilip Purushottam Chitre was the full name of this poet. He was not just one of India's most celebrated poets, but also a painter and a filmmaker. He was born in 1938 and died in 2009. His major works are in Marathi, but also wrote in English. He was famous for addressing themes of urbanization, identity, and dislocation. His works often reflect on modern life, alienation, and human relationships and traditions. His poem, The Felling of the Banyan Tree, comes from his collection of poems titled Traveling in a Cage, which was published in 1980. And this poem deeply explores themes of alienation and loss. The felling of the banyan tree is a deeply personal memory of displacement and yet a universal experience. It describes the emotional turmoil of witnessing the cutting down of a banyan tree, which symbolizes disconnections from tradition and familial roots. Its removal signifies the end of an era as the family moves from their rural home in Baroda to a modern urban setting in Bombay. The poem captures the emotional weight of this change, making it relatable to anyone who has experienced a loss or upheaval in their lives. It offers a poignant account of how modernization displaces nature and the human spirit. The banyan tree serves as a powerful metaphor for rootedness and the connections to one's history. At its core, the poem explores three main themes: displacement and alienation, environmental destruction, and generational divide. The banyan tree symbolizes heritage, stability, and tradition, while its felling represents the pain of displacement, disconnection, and the loss of cultural roots. The poem critiques the destruction of nature and questions whether progress is truly worth such a significant loss. The tree's destruction reflects the environmental cost of human ambitions. Additionally, the poem highlights the growing divide between generations. The father's decision to cut down the tree symbolizes authority and progress or change, while the poet's reflections convey feelings of pain and resistance. Dilip Chitre employs powerful literary devices to bring his poem to life. Actually, this poem was written in free verse. The structure reflects chaos and disconnection. Vivid imagery, such as birds and insects, began to leave the tree. 50 men with axes create a powerful emotional impact, bringing the scenes to life. The banyan tree serves as a strong symbol of heritage, deeply rooted in family and tradition, Its towering presence represents strength, tradition, and a deep sense of belonging. The act of cutting down the tree signifies the pain of destruction and its irreversible loss of heritage, highlighting the disconnections between generations. The poem's tone is nostalgic and melancholic, reflecting the loss and regret. Furthermore, the contrast between the past and the present underscores the costs associated with so-called progress. The irony of this poem lies in the idea of progress achieved at the cost of cultural and environmental destruction. Why this poem matters today? Let's think. This poem is incredibly relevant today. It reminds us of the environmental damage caused by rapid urbanization and the loss of cultural identity in our modern lives. As trees fall to make way for cities, we lose not just nature but also our connection to the past. The poem urges us to think about how we can balance development with environmental preservation. Now it's time to reflect. Think about these questions. What does the banyan tree symbolize in your life or culture? Can development and tradition coexist? How do we balance development with environmental and cultural preservation? And how do you interpret the father's role in this poem? Here are some words from the poem along with their meanings. Try to memorize them. Fell, from the felling of the banyan tree. Fell means to cut down. Tenant. My father told the tenants to leave. Tenant means a person who rents a house or property from the owner. He massacred them all. Massacre, to kill a large number indiscriminately, and its scraggly aerial roots fell to the ground. Scraggly means untidy. Look at the meanings of aerial roots, slaughter, and seeth from this poem. Dear students, compare and comment on the differences between these two pictures. And again, compare and comment on the contrast between these two. Let's take a moment to reflect on the question. Are we losing our roots in the name of progress? Dear students, consider the meaning of these lines. Trees are sacred, my grandmother used to say. Felling them is a crime. But the banyan tree stood like a problem whose roots lay deeper than all our lives. We watched in terror and fascination this slaughter as a raw mythology revealed to us its age. There are no trees except the one which grows and seeds in one's dreams. Dear students, explain the meaning of these lines and read the poem several times from the textbook and interpret it in your own way for better understanding. Hope for the best. This poem asks us to think about what we are willing to sacrifice for our progress and how we can protect what matters most. Let's take this as a reminder to preserve both our environment and our heritage. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more literary insights.